Breaking news! It's just been confirmed. And man, this surprised everyone. The atmosphere behind the scenes in Philadelphia is heating up. And today, we have a move that could change everything. We didn't win last season, but this one is ours. I'll tell you all the details, but first, make sure to like and subscribe to stay informed. And shout in the comments, "Go Eagles!" Now, let's get straight to what matters. The Philadelphia Eagles have signed wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown to a one-year deal worth up to $6.5 million. And I'm telling you right now, this is the kind of low-risk, high-upside move that Howie Roseman has built his reputation on. This isn't just about adding depth. This is about adding a dimension that this offense has been missing for a long time. Hollywood Brown brings something very specific to this team: speed that forces defenses to respect every inch of the field. Last season, he put up 49 catches for 587 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging around 12 yards per reception with just one drop. That tells you two things: he's still explosive, and he's reliable when the ball comes his way. And when you place that kind of player alongside A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, everything changes. Think about what this does schematically. For years, the Eagles have been searching for a true vertical threat, someone who can stretch the field, pull safeties deep, and create space underneath. We saw flashes of that with Quez Watkins in the past, but it was never consistent enough. Now, with Hollywood Brown, defenses can't cheat anymore. If they stack the box, he burns them over the top. If they play deep, it opens up the intermediate routes where A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith dominate. And it doesn't stop there. This move directly impacts the run game. When defenses are forced to respect 3 legitimate receiving threats, they can't just crowd the line of scrimmage. That means more room for Saquon Barkley to operate, more favorable looks, and a more balanced offensive attack overall. This is how modern NFL offenses evolve, not just through star power, but through complementary pieces that unlock everything else. Another key detail here is value. Hollywood Brown is coming in on a one-year deal worth less than what Jahan Dotson received from Atlanta on a longer contract. That's classic Howie Roseman, identifying a player who fits better, costs less, and gives you flexibility. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you move on without being financially handcuffed. And let's address something that's been floating around because I know fans are thinking about it. This signing does not mean A.J. Brown is on his way out. In fact, everything I'm seeing suggests the opposite. This move makes more sense if A.J. Brown stays. You don't add a vertical weapon like Hollywood Brown to rebuild. You add him to maximize a championship window, especially when you consider what just happened around the league. The Miami Dolphins traded Jalen Waddle to the Denver Broncos for a first-round pick, a third, and a fourth. That deal just reset the wide receiver market again. And if you compare production, A.J. Brown has been significantly more dominant over the past few years. More catches, more yards, more touchdowns, and multiple All-Pro selections. So, what does that mean? It means if anyone thought they could pry A.J. Brown away cheaply, they can forget about it. Howie Roseman's asking price, a first and a second-round pick, is now fully justified, maybe even conservative given the market. And that puts the Eagles in a position of strength. They don't need to trade him. They can build around him. Now take a step back and look at the full picture. You've got A.J. Brown as your alpha, DeVonta Smith as one of the cleanest route runners in the league, Dallas Goedert working the middle, Saquon Barkley in the backfield, and now Hollywood Brown stretching the field and adding that explosive element. This is starting to look like one of the most complete offensive units in the NFL. And don't overlook the coaching aspect here. In offensive systems inspired by minds like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and others, The WR3 role has become increasingly important. It's not just a depth spot anymore. It's a chess piece. Jet sweeps, bubble screens, motion plays, all designed to create mismatches and get the ball into space. That's exactly where Hollywood Brown thrives. So when you connect all the dots, this isn't just a signing you scroll past. This is a calculated move that could have a ripple effect across the entire offense. It makes the Eagles more unpredictable, more dangerous, and, frankly, harder to defend at every level of the field. Now, I want to hear from you, because this is where it gets interesting. Do you believe this move is enough to elevate the Eagles' offense back to elite status? Or do you think there's still another big piece missing for a true Super Bowl run? And here's where things get even more interesting, because this move isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a bigger vision that the Eagles' front office is clearly executing right now. When you look at how Howie Roseman has approached this offseason so far, you can see a pattern: calculated aggression without overcommitting financially. And bringing in Hollywood Brown fits perfectly into that strategy. What stands out to me the most is how this signing stabilizes the wide receiver room in a way we haven't consistently seen over the past few seasons. The Eagles have been rotating through options at that WR3 spot for years, whether it was Zach Pascal, Olamide Zaccheaus, or more recently, Jahan Dotson. But none of those players truly forced defenses to adjust their game plan. Hollywood Brown changes that immediately. He's not just filling a role, he's redefining it. And let's talk about usage, because this is where fans should really get excited. This isn't a player you line up and just ask to run routes on the outside every snap. This is a player you move around, you put him in motion, you get him involved in jet sweeps, you design quick touches to get the ball in his hands and let him create. That kind of versatility adds unpredictability, and unpredictability is what separates good offenses from elite ones in today's NFL. There's also an important psychological effect this move has on opposing defenses. When defensive coordinators prepare for the Eagles now, they're not just focused on stopping A.J. Brown's physical dominance or DeVonta Smith's precision. They also have to account for pure speed. That hesitation, that extra step a safety takes to stay deep, that's all it takes to open up a window for a big play somewhere else on the field. And don't forget, this also gives the Eagles flexibility heading into the draft. With Hollywood Brown on a one-year deal, there's no pressure to immediately develop a rookie wide receiver. If they decide to draft someone, that player can grow at the right pace without being thrown into a high-pressure role right away. That's how you build sustainable success, layering talent instead of forcing it. Now, circling back to the A.J. Brown situation, because I know this is still on every fan's mind. The market shift caused by the Jalen Waddle trade only strengthens the Eagles' position. A.J. Brown isn't just another receiver. He's one of the most productive and complete wideouts in football. And the numbers back that up clearly, outperforming Waddle across receptions, yards, and touchdowns over the same stretch. So if you're Howie Roseman, why would you rush into a deal? You wouldn't. You hold your ground, you keep your star, and you build around him. And that's exactly what this move with Hollywood Brown signals. It's not about replacing A.J., it's about maximizing him. At the same time, this sends a message to the locker room. The Eagles are not taking a step back. They're not entering a rebuild. They are actively pushing forward, making smart additions, and positioning themselves to compete at the highest level again. Moves like this show confidence. Confidence in the roster, in the coaching staff, and in the direction of the team. And if you're a fan watching this unfold, you have to feel that energy building. Because on paper, this offense is starting to look dangerous again. Balanced, explosive, and deep. The kind of unit that can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. But of course, As we all know, paper doesn't win games. Execution does. Chemistry does. Health does. And that's going to be the real test once the season begins. Can Hollywood Brown stay healthy and consistent? Can this offense fully integrate all these weapons? And can the Eagles take that next step when it matters most? That's what we're all going to be watching closely. If you've made it this far, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to click on the video that's on your screen right now, because all the latest Eagles news, analysis, and exclusive updates, you're only going to find it right here.